Thanks so much for that, Kim. We are now on the bandshell stage, and like I mentioned earlier in the show, we are joined by our first special guest. This is Tim Buckland, and he is an Edmontonian cancer survivor. Tim, you have a very interesting story which started at a young age, so start there.
Yeah, so when I was 18, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. I went through 3 years of surveillance, which was blood work and CAT scans. Really, I was clean and clear after that, and 6 months later, I was diagnosed a second time.
Wow.
And third time was testicular cancer.
Wow.
I went through 4 rounds of chemotherapy, which lasted about 4 months. I lost a semester of schooling, and I had to quit hockey because of it.
Wow. Being only 18 years old, what was going through your mind?
Panic,
Yeah.
shock more than anything else. Yeah, it was really, really tough to go through that, being that young. The support that I had was non-existent at that time, and really it's been growing ever since, but yeah, at the time I really didn't have a whole lot to work with.
Why is that?
We're a very small population. There's only about 7,000 each year in Canada combined, so there's not a whole lot of support that goes towards us, but that's growing, so it's nice to see.
So you are one of a few. Testicular cancer isn't one of the more widely diagnosed types of cancer. How did you cope?
It took a while. Most of the time it was just kind of like I didn't talk about it, I didn't think about it, and then once I was cleared the second time, I really kind of reached out and talked to a lot of people. Being a 2-time survivor of testicular cancer is incredibly rare. Like, it's 1 in a million type of situation, so. Yeah.
And you mentioned that your life changed dramatically. Your plans got put on hold.
Yeah.
You couldn't play hockey anymore. What was your hockey life like before cancer?
It was everything I lived for, especially in high school. That's all I did was play hockey. So yeah, it was really tough to lose that.
And what did you feel? How did you fill the void? Because you told me off camera that you didn't really let it get you down for more than 48 hours.
Yeah, basically my whole life switched, especially after I was done the second time. So I did my master's in cancer research. I worked on breast cancer. I volunteer a lot, especially at the Cross Cancer Institute and elsewhere, and now I work at the Canadian Cancer Society. So
that is absolutely fantastic. You came full circle. You were thrown this hand of cards that was such a devastating situation, and now today you're working to help people that were in a position similar to your own.
That's the hope. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're working with the Canadian Cancer Society today, how often do you talk to people on a daily basis and say, you know what, I know exactly how you're feeling?
Yeah, it's an everyday occurrence, and it's really nice to be able to connect with people on that level. They seem to really respond well to it, at least.
Yeah. What's your favorite part today, being a survivor?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. It's just all wonderful, and it's really nice to be alive and moving on and helping people.
I bet you face every day differently now after going through that terrible situation. You wake up with a completely different attitude.
Absolutely, I do. Yes.
So what's your daily motto?
That's a really good question. My motto is basically just to help others, and that's kind of what I stretch and try and do as best as I can.
This is such an important day, and we celebrate it in the U.S., we celebrate in Canada, Australia, and many, many countries across the world. Why do you think it's so important for the cancer survivors to come together and share the message like you're sharing yours today?
Yeah, most people don't really see. As soon as we're cured, we're out in the wild and we're fine. Yeah, I know. But there's a lot more that goes with it. Like, we live with late effects, and we live with what we've had to deal with. So it's important for people to see that as well.
And every single person here in Edmonton, across Canada, at some point in their lives will be touched by cancer. It might be your best friend, your neighbor, someone that you're related to, someone that you love. You never know when it's going to hit.
Yeah, it's about 1 in 2 people now. So it's scary, but we're curing a lot more people than we used to. So it's a good thing.
It is fantastic. And you have great news.
Yes,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is my 5-year clear this year, which is no longer needing follow-ups or anything. Yeah.
High five. You must feel so good.
It is really nice. Yeah, for sure.
Is it ever a worry in your mind anymore, or are you're just powering through life and you're like, did it, I dealt with it, I beat it, bring it on?
No, I worry about it all the time.
Okay.
But, every lump bump is always a panic a little bit, but yeah, you get better at it at least. It's not a worry as much as it used to be.
Well, you're an absolutely fantastic person. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back here on Shaw TV.